Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your weekly reading for February 1st to the 8th. This is for Taurus. Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right in, Taurus. You know, I'm looking at what's going on for y'all. I feel like you're really going to make some huge changes this week, okay? I feel like yeah, we'll talk about it, but I do want to remind you this is a landmark month too, okay? That we as a collective have never experienced. You're about to have some aspects very soon, starting next week, that's going to propel you into your brand new era. And remember, you can't take everything with you, including like old structures and ways of thinking and patterns and the kitchen sink, all of it, right? You can bring your dog, but this is going to be a week of, as you can see, a lot of healing, some unpredictable events, okay? And it is going to also be a week where you're still riding the wave of that 5-planet conjunction in Aquarius. That's over, but you still have 5 planets in Aquarius. You have that stellium. So, you know, a lot of career movements here. Yeah, career, fame, public recognition. If you're not here for career, the 10th house is very public facing, is what you want to be known for. So doesn't matter if you're here for career or not. There, you may be getting some, recognition, some achievements, but remember, Aquarius rules the future as well. So still going to play a big role this week. And as you can see, there's a lot here on the whiteboard you didn't see in your monthly forecast last week. And I will not repeat the same information from last week, including Sunday, February 1st, the full moon in Leo, 13 degrees. Now, I want you to think about what happened for you around July 25th, okay? The corresponding new moon in Leo, your 4th house of home and family, your domestic sector, yeah? Real estate. There was something, think about the 2 weeks following July 25th. You had some movement there. You've had some changes there. And now you're just coming to a turning point. You're coming to a place where something's ending. There may be something illuminated. There may be something that you feel emotionally moved about. There's definitely going to be some family energy. All right. This full moon's in Leo, by the way, fire sign. Yeah. You're going to feel that fire in your belly. And this full moon, it doesn't let you hide. Okay. It's all about being honest with yourself and others. And, 5 planets in Aquarius, all about the truth, right? And you're still embracing your individuality, that rebellious side that Aquarius is known for. Those energies maybe kicking in this week too. You're craving your freedom and mental stimulation. This full moon allows you to fully express your authentic self. So I love this full moon. Remember, Aquarius is the mind and Leo is the heart, right? So you've got this great mind-heart coherence. So you could receive downloads and signals. Your thoughts could be charged emotionally. Your emotions could be charged thoughtfully. And with full moons being emotional, this may be emotional. It actually is a very emotional week. But this one in particular, when I say emotional, I mean, this is more passion. There's great passion here. You're unapologetic. You don't care what others say or think. You just do you. You're giving yourself permission to be true to you, especially when it comes to home and family and love and creative projects as well. Your passions, real estate. You may be selling a place. You may be moving into a new place. You may be getting a roommate. But either way, let it be known. All right. That might be your mantra today. This is also very confidence boosting. It's Leo energy. You've got the stage. You're not a backup dancer. It's your stage, Leo, the lion, the roar. So, I mean, it can also be pretty dramatic, but therein lies the point. Your world is your stage. Allow yourself to radiate. Yeah. And remember, in 2 weeks from now, we will have that new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius. So this month, with the full moon and the new moon, you may be getting acclimated to energies that you will start feeling this summer and beyond when it comes to career and work. Because remember, the North Node is moving into Aquarius, South Node moving into Leo. And so you're going to get a little bit of an idea. All right. Now, if you're a cross watcher, if you watch for your rising sign or your moon or your brother, Marty, whoever, fixed signs, you, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, you're going to feel this full moon the most. If you got any planets 11 to 15 degrees in any of those signs in your natal chart, well, they're going to be aspected, okay? By this full moon, you will feel it. Monday, February 2nd, Mercury in Aquarius, sextile Chiron in Aries at 23 degrees. Now, this is the first of 4 sextiles with Chiron, the wounded healer, where you heal deep wounds, emotional, subconscious, and you do it to transform them into wisdom, to help others. And so this is actually really perfect, being under the influence of the full moon, right? Asking you to clear the decks, especially with your identity, again, confidence, self-esteem, all of that, especially with career. Yeah. Now, what's really interesting here is Chiron in Aries is your 12th house. Remember, Aries rules your 12th house, which is the subconscious. So you may be going really deep in terms of doing that healing. Aquarius, and a lot of it will be career related, or how you're perceived and your public image and, recognition and social status and leadership and all of that. Remember, that's your 10th house with all these planets in Aquarius. And when I say all these planets in Aquarius this week, that's all the inner planets. It's Venus, it's Mercury, it's Mars, it's the Sun, right? And then you've got Pluto too. So there's going to be a lot of unrooting things. And Aquarius and Aries are very similar. They're very independent. They love their freedom. They do their own thing. There's this level of self-sufficiency, okay? And it's a sextile. So this is you being proactive, because you've got this opportunity to heal that can be very cathartic and profound. Mercury in Aquarius, that's freeing your mind and accepting truths and feeling inspired about your future. Remember, Aquarius is like connecting with others, okay? Your network, your support system and friendships and allies and benefactors and your squad organizations you belong to. So you may have a lot of conversations here. You may do some, have some deep conversations. But this aspect is healing through words. It's Mercury, yeah? There's this raw honesty here, releasing anything that's bottled up, letting it, right? This allows you to vibrate at that high frequency and attract what you deserve. The higher the frequency, the more you're gonna manifest, and this allows you to just really ascend, and it brings relief and support and freedom as long as you put in the effort. And it will be the air signs Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and the fire signs Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. That's gonna feel this the most. I'm gonna throw in Virgo too. Planets 21 to 25 degrees in either fire or air in your natal charts. Well, you will feel it the most. Now, Tuesday, February 3rd, this is it, okay? Uranus is stationing direct, 27 degrees in your sign. So, you are definitely going to feel this. Even, days before, and you see Uranus is waking up, and he right out the gate, he's going to have some aspects. So, he's woke. He's woke. So this is the planet of surprises and the unexpected and breakthroughs and innovation and, wake-up calls in your sign. You're going to feel this. And I think that you're going to love it, because especially if you felt that things were stalled, or you were, not having any progress or hitting walls since September 6th when Uranus went retrograde. So in general, it does feel like you're going to shake things up, And that's what Uranus wants. And you've had Uranus in your sign since 2018. You're used to this Uranian energy. You may have sudden insights and realizations about your routines, about things in your life that just are not working the way they used to. And you're pivoting or you're changing things or adjusting, all right? Especially with, relationships and finances. So, and even career. That was a big thing here. So don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Yeah. And yes, Uranus is also chaos and breakdowns and, upheaval. But you're good at pivoting. You're good at pivoting. Now, Wednesday, February 4th. Yeah, Venus in Aquarius. Okay, sextile Chiron in Aries at 23 degrees. So this is the same thing as Mercury, sextile Chiron, except now it's themes around relationships, money, creative projects, creativity, self-worth, things that you value. Yeah, it's it's more diplomacy here with Venus, your ruler. Okay, so this is repairing trust and redefining relationships and allowing yourself to be vulnerable. This is the sisterhood of the traveling pants. All of them being so empowered by the end. And yes, this is another, this is you may feel a little bit more sensitive than normal, sure. But remember, Saturn is moving into Aries next week, joining Neptune that's already there. That's the spiritual warrior archetype. And so this healing is actually necessary for your journey to leave anything you do not want to bring into this brand new world as a spiritual warrior. Remember, Chiron, sure, he's the wounded healer, but what does that even mean? He shows you your wounds, your past wounds that you've been carrying, that's with you, all right? It's up to you to turn them into battle scars. You don't just eradicate wounds. You learn how to live with them. That's self-love. That's what empowerment is. So this day, tell yourself, and every day, that you won't let your past wounds define who you are. Taurus, because this is going to help you prepare for when Chiron moves into your sign this year. Now, and just to let you know, so we can bond here, Taurus. Yeah, I got Chiron and Taurus in my natal chart. Yeah, it's at 1 degree. Yeah, I'm going to feel it. So anyway, you're going to be fine. Thursday, February 5th. Oh, there may be some big breakthrough that you have with love too. Love and romance and family and children and all of that. You're going to be processing a lot. The moon's going to be in Virgo. Yeah. So talk about really, putting things in order. We'll talk about it in we talk in the second spread where we talk about lunations and asteroids and planetoids. But anyway, Thursday, February 5th, you've got Mercury in Aquarius now squaring Uranus in your sign. So Mercury happens to be the lower octave of Uranus, meaning if Mercury, okay, Mercury's like the iPhone. Uranus would be the cell tower. Yeah. You're going to get some transmissions this day. All right. There may be a little bit of a jolt. There may be something here that can make you feel a little bit restless. And a lot of it will have to do with, that 10th house energy, career and recognition and fame. But it's genius energy. It's Mercury in Aquarius. And remember, Uranus, sure, is in your sign, but Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. So use this aspect. I always say use these aspects. Don't let them use you. If everybody on your block is selling tacos, maybe you want to sell burritos. That's genius, right? Aquarius is all about standing out. But anyway, it really is thinking outside the box is what this aspect is, especially with any circumstances with career for you, or, again, things that you are exerting energy into that you want to be known for, and just you just you. This is Uranus in your sign. And so, finances as well, but you really could have some radical ideas come out of nowhere this day. All right. Remember, Uranus is the unexpected. So be mindful of your words and communication. Yes, be different, think different, do different, but don't go sending your Love is Blind audition tape to your boss. It happens. It happens. Anyway, this is a lot of rebellious energy. And that's why I'm like, Taurus is going to break free from things this week. Yeah. Be responsive, not reactive. And remember, reality is created by the mind. We can change our reality by changing our mind. Thank you, Plato. And it's that simple. It's that simple. Now, it really does feel like this is kind of like the height of, if you are going to have any changes with career, it might be around this time because the moon will be in Libra. All right. And that's your 6th house of work. So fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and I'm throwing in Gemini and Virgo. We'll feel this the most. Now, Friday, February 6th, you got Mercury moving into Pisces. It's going to be here all month. Mercury in Pisces, poetry in motion. Yeah. Your communication is going to be a little bit softer. You're going to speak a little bit more emotionally with greater imagination and intuition and a lot of thoughts about your future. You may be daydreaming or, real dreaming about where you want to be, what your goals are, picturing yourself being there. Pisces rules your 11th house of your future dreams and aspirations. But it's also like friendships and, your networking and groups you belong to. And yeah, so it does seem, it's also, by the way, really great for artists. If you're an artist, Mercury in Pisces is amazing. Okay. And the healing arts and meditation and spirituality, Mercury in Pisces is dreamer energy. But it's dreamer energy. So details and like facts, the hard facts and logic. Yeah, that might be a little lost in the sauce. Okay. Just let you know. This can be daydreamer energy. So this is great to communicate and think with compassion and inspiration. And maybe use a lot of metaphors. That's kind of the language of Mercury and Pisces. But I do like it for you. It's real, like, again, poetry in motion. It's very, very artsy. Now, here's the thing though. All right. Saturday, February 7th. It's not on the whiteboard. We'll talk about the second spread, but the moon will be in Scorpio. And as you know, if you're a subscriber, I will always let you know when the moon is in Scorpio. It will be in Scorpio all weekend long. There is an intensity, an emotional intensity when the moon is in Scorpio, but that's not it. The moon in Scorpio will square Pluto, Scorpio's ruler. So we'll talk about it in your second spread, but there is some relationships, partnerships, or something here. You're looking for receipts and stuff. But also you're also feeling a lot more empowered. Yeah. And this is going to be more career, FYI. But anyway, Sunday, February 8th, this is when it still stays a little bit more career focused. You got Venus square Uranus. Okay. Venus is in Aquarius, Uranus in your sign. And this happens like twice a year. This is the first one. All right. You might feel it a few days before. You may feel it all week. To be honest, Uranus is direct. Yeah. This is signature breakups, shakeups, but also breakthroughs and, wake up calls. It's when you have that sudden need for freedom over comfort, especially relationships, finances, and career. So again, I'm just saying Uranus is in your sign. Yeah. Squaring your ruler. There may be something here where you just may do something on the spot, unpredictable. You might quit your job, just like, right? You could also maybe end a friendship. You could also I don't know, quit social media this day. You could quit the cheerleading squad, whatever, wherever you feel limited, that's where you're going to feel that rebellion. Like, I'm going to change things up. This is 2 fixed signs. You know that, right? So there's a little bit of wiggle room, but there is mutual reception. So that's great. Venus is your ruler. Uranus is Aquarius's ruler. Y'all are hosting each other, right? With these planets. So there is a bit of compromise here and, cooperation and breakthrough. But there may be just a little bit of chaos with that breakthrough. It's how you use it. You create your reality. Anyway, you're going to be fine. Just pay attention to like career. Like, again, a lot of y'all are doing something different. And some may be really big, like changing jobs, professions, etc. And some may just be a little bit more subtle, like, oh, I'm going to change this, I'm going to change this. And it grows into something bigger because there will be a lot more, aspects with Uranus throughout the month. All right. So fixed signs are going to feel that the most. And I am throwing in Libra. All right. Now, let's see what's going on for you. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. February 1st to the 8th. Yes, Taurus. Are you excited for this week? Are you excited for April when Uranus officially leaves your sign? And here's the thing. Uranus brought you a lot of change, a lot of great change. And, Uranus brought you some moments, but it's because Uranus doesn't do well in your sign. Uranus is Aquarius's ruler, as I said, air sign. Uranus is a sky god. He doesn't like, So Uranus moving into Gemini, whoa, it's perfect match. Things are going to be so different for you. You got a little preview over the summer, but it's going to be great. All right. Uranus does a lot better in Gemini, but it's also Gemini rules our second house. So very interesting. Very interesting. A lot of money stuff. Yeah. For the next, 7 years for you. Anyway, I do a traditional cult across spread, offers the best overview for a weekly reading. If we need to pull clarifiers, we will. Taurus, y'all are amazing. Thanks so much for being here. All right, let's see what you got. Oh, yep. Okay, you are. I can't even. Again. I'm gonna give you the world. I'm gonna give you the world tour. And twirl. What is going on? What is happening here? So you see that you got all major arcana. You got one major arcana, all these court cards, 2 major arcana. I mean, this is going to be a very significant week. Like I said, you're going to have some change and awakenings, right? With Uranus waking up and your sign and the Tower. Like I said, expect the unexpected. There's going to be some unpredictable things that are going to be happening, but this is great. Okay? Yeah, the Tower is chaos. Right? However, with a week like this, it's like you invite it or you do it. Like you're the one who's just, like I said, you can be unpredictable. You may end something on the spot. You may be, that may happen. You're like Phoenix rising from the ashes, right? Anyway, just expect the unexpected, okay? And yeah, it may be with career, it may be with finances, it may be with relationships, but again, it feels very you. And even if it's not you, it's look. And the heart of your spread, you have judgment. And so that's amazing. That's really amazing. That Tower moment had to happen for you to have that huge spiritual awakening, this huge wake-up call. That's what the Judgment card is. This is right before the world. You have to, have your ascension. And this is like everything. This is absolutely amazing. When you've got an Archangel Gabriel blowing that trumpet here. Yeah? What is that? That's sound, right? Right there. It's the only card in tarot where there's just this strong concentration or connotation to sound. What is sound? It's energy. It's vibration. It's healing. And you see, it's waking the dead. And so when you have your moment, that light bulb moment, that aha moment, oh, everything changes. They're now seeking this meaningful life experience. And so it feels like there's even that, a sense of like second chance. Let me do this over, or let me do this again, or yeah, because you're now, oh, this is really great. You got the Page of Swords. That's fine. Listen. What did I say about the, communicating? All right. Because you will have Mercury square Uranus in your sign. And you feel that, like day before, day after. But then you also have Uranus just very active, Mercury squaring. Oh, yeah, I already said that, right? I meant Mercury in Pisces. Okay. Which can be a little, but yeah. So just be very mindful. This Page of Swords, he is very eager. He's very enthusiastic. Like sometimes he doesn't, he has no filter. He like really just wants to, charge forward with a sword. He wants to learn how to use a sword. So keep that in mind. The second thing is, yes, it could be the other end. There could be someone that that maybe you may see a little bit of this person in a new way. Okay. And you may have to have conversations about it. Yeah. Swords are the mental state. It is communication. But either way, and it's because you're having this huge moment of clarity and this spiritual moment. And even still, I mean, you've got Neptune in your 12th house. Remember, Neptune moved into Aries last week. All right. So the 12th house is spirituality. I mean, just wait until next week when Neptune meets up with Saturn. You got the Queen of Cups, King of Swords, King of Wands. Like, who are you? I mean, look at what this did for you. Yeah? The Tower moment. Look at what it did for you. Anyway, Queen of Cups, that's amazing. I said it's going to be very, emotional week, very emotionally moving week. This is a lot of emotional intelligence here with the Queen of Cups, who's just really in touch with her emotions. She's highly intuitive. She's basically telepathic. And you're going to be feeling that energy, all right, with Neptune in your 12th and Mercury in Pisces, by the way. And so there is a sense of like just comfort. There's this maternal side that feels really good. She leads with her heart, and you're gonna, it's almost like that's all you want to do. There is this maternal side that you're gonna feel that comes out, and that happens with when you have aspects like this, especially with Chiron. Like, remember what I said, you become a little bit more sensitive and you want to take care of others and things like that. But I love that. And then you have the King of Swords, which just, wow, he is the authority. And this is someone who he's a little bit intimidating out of all the kings, because look, he looks directly at you. He means business. He's the only king that does that. He's got nothing to hide. Remember, this is a week of all these truth being true to you, truth coming to the surface, right? No one can hide anything from this king. Yeah. This is big decision maker, someone who's just incredibly intelligent. And yeah, I feel like there is some things that you want to say. All right. Say it, but diplomatically, gracefully, as Tauruses are. And then you have the King of Wands in your future. He is the entrepreneur. Yeah. The CEO. But the King of Wands is full of passion. This is, wands are, have this spirit of fire. And so there's that fire in your belly. Is this you completely transformed? Or in the process of wanting to completely transform your life, now that you had your big moment with that Judgment card. But the King of Wands, that's great, because he's also Leo too, by the way. So there could be this paternal side coming out as well. That just, I mean, you can see it here. So, but also like boss, yeah, like boss energy, entrepreneur. There's, you may be getting a promotion, whatever it is. There's a lot of career activity as well. All right, let's get to your stuff. Oh my gosh, this is Taurus. If you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, tell me what is going on, and yeah, there's this is gonna be a week, Taurus. I hope you're excited to shake things up. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, don't. Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, gosh, I'm gonna. What am I? Who do you have here? I'll give you this. I'm gonna give you. Is it Superboy? Superman? Anyway, you are like, what is happening? What is happening? You got the world. You know it. It's almost, right? You're wrapping things up. There's this new path, new journey, new you. You know it. The world is the end of the major arcana, of the fool's journey. So be very proud of yourself for all these new things that are about to happen in your life. A lot of it being lent to this moment. And it could be through having a very, deep conversation. It could be you just having your moment, right? While you're making hamburgers, something, right? You just have that moment, that big awakening. This is amazing. So I love that. And honestly, don't resist change. It doesn't look like it, but with Uranus in your sign, again, you are going to be the change. But it's almost like you already see your new you, which is amazing, in the Lovers, in your external factors area. So there is, again, a huge element of relationships and partnerships that, especially over the weekend when you do have the moon in Scorpio, that's going to be making a lot of aspects. And then actually next week, starting on Monday, your 8th house is going to be activated, like deepening relationships. So either way, you've got 2 archangels. Like, what? So you now have Archangel Raphael blessing these 2 who feel free and they can express themselves. Remember, I even said with that full moon, which with any full moon, you feel it for days after, up to a week, 2 weeks. And anyway, you got the Lovers. So good for you. There's a lot of, energy around relationships, and it can be partnerships as well. Remember, it doesn't have to be love. It can be career, like a new business partner, new company, wherever that energy is. But this truly is, deepening commitments. Yeah. But you understanding that you have choice. Okay. Ace of Swords. Yeah. You're going to have that breakthrough. You're going to have, even with Mercury and Aquarius, Uranus and your side, like even like mental breakthrough. Yeah. Wow. This is just really exciting. And remember, again, swords, communication, the mental suit, but it's also just truth. Yeah. And so there is this, it just feels like this new journey you're excited for. You're feeling empowered, emblazoned. But it's you've discovered your truth, and 6 of Cups in your final outcome, which is all about just letting down your hair. It's a card of protection. It's a card of sharing and kindness and tapping into your inner child. And so this is really nice. There's a lot of comfort in the 6 of Cups. This is the biggest house in tarot, indicating a lot of, comfort and security and protection. But this is great. This is amazing. A lot of y'all will have, there may be some emphasis on children too. If you have children, we will have the moon in Virgo, and that's very like analytical, right? Analyzing your emotions, but also like feeling that there's your duties, you're checking off your to-do list, and remember that will trine Uranus in your sign, and so it rules your fifth, right? Virgo rules your fifth, which is children, which is family. You have a lot of emphasis around home and family and children and significant other. So we'll talk about where a second spread. This is y'all are good. Y'all are good. Taurus, you got one pip card. You got one pip card. And a good one. And yeah, by the way, this card is attributed to Sun in Scorpio. So it's a Scorpio card. Relationships, and commitments, even contracts. There may be something that you're seeking here. Do you have, oh yeah, you do. Yeah. So you may be like, what is it called when you sign like mortgage or something with homes for a lot of y'all, but just, this is amazing. You're good. Okay. So Taurus, thanks so much. Next week. Oh yeah, we'll get into it. There's a lot happening next week, and it's Saturn moving into Aries. We'll talk about it next week. If you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, tell what is going on. I want to know, Taurus, what's this big breakthrough you're about to have? You're initiating. Yes, and tier 3 members, really good and legendary members, will go through the lunations, asteroids, all the, the other half of your forecast. You know where to find the link. Anyone's welcome to join. And the day, by the way, that this video comes out will be my birthday. Thank you. Thank you so much. Stop. Anyway, to celebrate, I am doing this access, all the full free access to greatawakener.com. There's going to be a lot of content that's open up for y'all. If you want like to see the videos, my channeling, the world predictions, all of that. But remember, there's also Alex doing hypnosis, and we have someone doing breathwork classes, and they're all great. They're astrology course, all of that. Anyway, and the last thing I was going to say, I'm about 80% out of that my vortex that of aspects that I've been going through. And I just wanted to say thank you again, because I continue to receive your comments and your messages, and it's just so meaningful. And I really appreciate it. All your kindness and support and patience and all of that. So thank you once again. I have so much gratitude. Y'all are amazing. All right. Okay. Thanks so much, Taurus. I will see you next week. All right. Bye-bye.